Good morning. This is Sherry, and I'm at work right now. I have the lights off and I have the door closed. I always come early because I want to make sure I set up my classroom and all that other stuff. But sometimes I have students that come early and they come in here and they want to ask questions and talk, and so I've got to be really quiet, do this video. Anyway. If my students are watching, sorry guys, I don't clock in till 8. So anyway, what I want to talk about is, what we've all been talking about for the last year, 2 years, 3 years is, the blessed hope, the coming of the Lord. And, September 23rd has come and gone. September 30th came and gone? October 5th, October 7th, October 12th. Some are saying October 19th now, so that's tomorrow. So we'll see. They're doing construction next door. Anyway, I'm not going to get too much into dates, but I do want to give this impression. Okay, I have a weak spot in my heart for period pieces. I love period pieces, especially medieval England, Renaissance England. So anyway, I was watching a drama called The White Queen. Yeah, I know. Okay, still not as bad as Tudors, not nearly as bad as Game of Thrones, which is, pretty much soft porn. So, no, it's not that bad. But, I really do like the storylines. And I do know some of it is fictional. But what happened in this episode really impressed on me what's happening with the church. Let me explain that. Elizabeth Woodville, who was the White Queen, she was the Queen Consort of England, the spouse of King Edward IV. And this is during the War of the Roses and the two houses, the Lancasters and the Lancasters and the other ones. Sorry. Yeah, I know I love period pieces, but can't think of it. History is that's sorry. Anyway. Okay, here's what happens. King Henry had just won the war, and so regained the crown. And he was a very young man. And anyway, he comes across Elizabeth, who was really a commoner. I guess her father was a squire, so still made her a commoner. And fall in love with her, and she would not be his mistress. She refused. And which good for her. So then he proposed marriage, and she accepted, because they fell in love. And so he said, okay, I'll come tomorrow and I'll bring my my minister and your mother, and she'll be the witness, and we'll marry. And so they did, and they did in her own chapel. Back then, estates had their own chapels, their own churches. So anyway, married, and of course then they consummated the marriage, and consummated it some more, Anyway, Edward goes off to war again, is successful, or is successful in battle, and she's waiting for him to come and get her, to take her to the palace. Her brother finds out of the secret marriage, and he tells her, look, who was a witness to this marriage? Mother. Okay. Who is the minister? The king's. Okay. This was a fake wedding. Okay. Can you imagine in this girl's heart what was going through her heart at this time? Now, she was expecting, okay, I'm gonna be taken, and we're gonna go into the palace, and I'm gonna be the queen, and life is going to change, which of course it would. but nothing's happening. The king comes back to her and says, you know what, I need to keep this marriage secret for a little bit longer. And of course, wants to consummate the marriage a little bit more. Okay, so what is it looking like to her? It's looking like this is never going to happen. Now this is where the impression came to me. Here we are. You know, the church is betrothed to the Lord Jesus Christ. We are his bride. And we're waiting for him to come back. Now, that same feeling that she got, like, is this really going to happen? Is this something that we've just bought into? Not that the Lord Jesus Christ would be dishonest or anything, but no, just maybe a doctrine we have bought into. It seems too good to be true. And in this story, it seemed too good to be true. And that's what everybody was telling her. Come on, you're just a squire's daughter. You're just a commoner. What would the king want with you as a queen? He's going to marry some foreign princess. In fact, her father gets called to the palace because there's going to be an announcement, and the princess of France was there, like they were going to announce the king's marriage to that princess. And that feeling that she had about that, like, is this really going to happen? And that's the feeling I got. You know, it was more than just a feeling. It was more of an impression. It's like, this is where the church is, especially the church that is waiting and watching. We're watching the skies. We're waiting. We're waiting for our time in the sun. Our time to be announced as the bride of Christ, to be presented to the Father. The king was supposed to present his bride to his uncle, who was acting as his father at that time. And it wasn't happening. And, September 23rd came and went. And, I had my eye in the sky. I'm not going to lie. I'm waiting. I want to be redeemed as his bride. I look around this world, and it's dark. A lot of people say, oh, there's a lot of good things. No. In comparison, sorry, no. I'm waiting for my groom. And I want to be ready. And I know he's coming. And I know I haven't been just sold a story. And just like the queen in the story, she knew he was coming to get her. But she had those doubts, but she also knew. I know my king is coming for me. And I know that the church is going to be presented to the Father very soon. So, fellow brides, keep looking up. Keep looking to the sky and expecting, because he is coming. This is Sherby. That's all I got to say.